Hi, this is me. I accidentally canceled the last recording. I was trying to see if my uncle's phone. So we got 3 weeks, and someone told me to contact the low-income housing. There's no website. There's a service center I went in before, and it creeped me the heck out so bad I walked out. Now, people will say beggars can't be choosers, but what do you do when you have somebody who's what's the word I'm looking for? What do you do when you have somebody, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have credit, you've been in, like, I have good credit, but my partner just doesn't have credit because his ex took down all his bank stuff and without telling him, so that it caused problems, and the good credit cards and all this. Like, they shut it. I don't even know how you can shut someone else's stuff down. I mean, somebody must have had it connected or something, like a joint or signer on it, or business account with more than one person, because you feel like all parties involved should have an opportunity to sign something or have something signed in front of a notary. Like, I don't know. I had some weird stuff with my dad messing with my money when I was over 21 years old, and I had not, I don't know how to describe it. I had not authorized it, and I called the bank and said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing you could do about it. Get my money back. Like, that's not his money, and I'm not his dependent. Anyways, it was a different story. So I'm in more of a pickle because I went into this place and I read the application and I walked out with the application. They say, you can't take that. I said, what? I can't take it. You can't take that. And I thought to myself, oh my God, what information do I write down? Like, can I see somebody shred that? Like, I don't need you to have my information. I didn't have all I don't think I have my social security number. You shouldn't be forced to leave somebody your personal information if you don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? There's data breaches. There's this different mess you could get in. Like, I didn't feel comfortable. So it said beggars can't be choosers. People tell me, go to the homeless shelter. Go to the low-income housing. Go to Facebook and Zillow to find a place. We find some apartment. It's really small. $1,300. It's like $1,400 a month. It always says 13 something, and you just have to round up because it's going to probably be pretty close to $1,400 a month. But on their criteria, I feel like we're not able to go, whether it's going to be income or credit or any other. I don't even remember the other criteria, because I feel like it'd be both people. Like, what if I, instead of use that money, go buy a house? It doesn't matter who's living in the house with me, does it? No, I don't think so. It's like they're not going to do background check, criminal history check. They'll do a check. If it's a mortgage, they'll do some investigating on your income and stuff. But if I just wouldn't paid cash, I mean, maybe HOAs have things on them. I'm just devastated because I just found out that I have more of a problem. And I was looking at that campground I said I was going to make a next video on, and it says the campground is not available. And this other one that I saw, there was a couple that were available. So let me look them up. I don't have a phone holder. I want you guys to not look at me and look at the corn and the, what is this? I don't know. Was this a cherry tree? What is this? I don't know what kind of tree. Well, you can see the sky like that, though. So, let's see. Is there any lightning alert? So there's a storm 3 minutes ago. There's a lightning strike. So I was going to finish my break in a minute. I'm gonna cry, guys. I am not even kidding. Let me turn the volume down on this. It's gonna be me. I don't want to get a violation with my own thing. It's gonna be me. I'm using up space, so I'm not going to keep recording. I'm gonna upload the video that I just did. I'll just call it On the Road. And what I'm thinking is that I have no clue except for Airbnb or campground. I don't have an RV. That would be different if I did. It'd make a huge difference because I would have probably booked it, because the campground, if I don't get that today, I'm not gonna necessarily have it. Because the week that we had to leave, this apartment is not available. But I don't, they don't show you like open dates. And let's just upload the last video, and then while you're here, I'm gonna look up Comfort Inn. Oh shoot, this needs to be charged. I look so stupid in those glasses. It's like, I feel like it fly. So I'm gonna get back. I only have time to go down to the pier and back. Literally, I was gonna stay over here. I actually gotta check the traffic, because it might take me an hour and a half. It might take me an hour to get there, and I'm supposed to be off the clock in an hour. So I gotta charge this. I was asking God for help, and I feel like my boyfriend said don't let anything get between us, and that we're gonna get tested and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here having to go through stuff I went through when I got clean and sober. Whether it's by choice, like I was trying to leave by choice to get away from someone toxic. I've done that so many times, until sometimes it becomes they remove you before you remove yourself. And that happened with Monty House. I paid all my rent. I'm a stickler for paying my rent. I paid every penny of my rent, and I had somebody white it out a couple months saying I owed. I think they whited out one, and the new treasurer said those other treasurers are kind of fishy. They did a bunch of weird stuff. They whited out that you didn't pay your rent, but you paid your rent every single month on time for 2 years. And I had a security deposit you're supposed to get back when they find out you paid all your rent. You get your security deposit back minus $10 on the lifetime membership. I was going to use all my receipts and show that I paid, because they gave me receipts. I was in West Virginia, and I threw them in the trash one day. I said, I don't have the space for this. What am I going to do? Go back to Michigan and turn this in. I said, I'm going to donate my $240. I saw on my credit report that I owe them $240. So not only did not owe them $240, they owed me $240. And I'm really ticked off that they sent that to collections, because I know I paid it, guys. And I left before, when they told me that the room was rented to someone else. I was at my mom's funerals, and this place, the Monty House, rented my room. The house president rented my room to somebody else, and the cat had just had kittens. My brother was having his girlfriend move in with her kids, so the basement, he told me to put everything in the basement, and when I did, he yelled at me for putting everything in the basement, and I only had less than a week. I had nowhere to go. I don't even know if I heard of storage units back then. I think I did, because me and my mom went to a storage unit auction. It was like a storage unit auction, but they didn't auction off the whole storage unit. It was in the 80s or something, maybe the 90s. They auctioned off part of it. I was like, oh, that looks like that guy that I told he couldn't There's signs that said don't fish from the bulkhead, but I was like, which part is the bulkhead? And I felt like so bad telling this guy, I don't think you could fish here, go somewhere else. And then I was waiting for my supervisor. I was going to say, well, I guess you could fish here, but not over here, which is, like, they need a sign that says fishing okay, fishing not okay. Anyways, different story. So I had left with my goldfish, 5 cats, which included Samantha and her 4 kittens, and then my dog Pebbles, a German Shepherd Lab. We had stuff in my Jeep in the back. People were honking and yelling because my dog was stuck in the back of the vehicle, and I don't know if she was sleeping, leaning up against the thing, and people had thought maybe there's something wrong with her. I think we had kittens in the front, so we couldn't have that open, and I had a bunch of junk, and that's part of the problem we're going to find out. If I don't pack, I have a bunch of junk, and I have this job where I'm going to be, I'm going to cry. I have this job where I'm going to be working, even if it's not that many hours, just like daily. Like, I'm so tired. You're waking up already with my boyfriend. If I had the week off, I'd still have to wake up with him at 3 a.m. And then, since I had to work some of those days, not all those days, then adding the weekend, Saturday and or Sunday. I was doing every single weekend, opening every single weekend, every single holiday, and they just try to consolidate my day to make it longer. And knowing that that it takes me an hour to get to the site, and I have to drive, like, work for 3 hours and go home every 2 days. I was paying for gas. And that's really hard. That's expensive. I told my boyfriend I would drive the fuel economy car, but it doesn't have a spare tire. So, I don't know how to change the spare tire. I don't know what to do. I have to check the other. And so he was going to get a spare tire, and then the gas tank leaks all over. And he says stuff about his life and stuff happening. And I was like over this kind of stuff. And I don't know if I was in a cloud, like when I got in that car accident, when I lost my job. So it's not that I was immune to life on life's terms before I met my partner. Me and my kids have gone through so much. But I feel like right now it's like there's still no help, which is the big reason why I keep saying that I had become a prepper, because I had no help. And I just called my lunch break 1, 2, 3. I called 4 people. Not one of them answered the phone. I didn't even leave any message. I left a message with my one friend. Not one of them answered the phone. I was like, it's Saturday afternoon. These people usually don't do anything. Like, it's none of my business what they do, but I feel like if I had a house and Saturday off, I would just get up and clean every few minutes, and put on a cute TV show and pause it and get up and clean every few minutes and watch the sky go by. Write some cards to some people, have a little desk, check on some bills. I'm going to do what I know how to do in my programs, and it's let go like God. For all my universe thing, I need to let the universe guide me to the right place, to an affordable place, to a solid place, not a tent. I watch all these people on RVs, and I don't have an RV, but I'm not trying to live in a 4Runner. I mean, there would be just enough room to curl up in the back and sleep. I would have to have like one little duffel bag with clothes and toiletries in it, because there's no room. You'd have to put the cook stuff on top. So I'm just going to list again, since I don't know what I'm posting this other video. I got to get the Wander Balm from Doc Martens. I have the camping stove coming. I have 2 different types of solar panels, charging stations coming. I have a lithium battery coming with those two items are accessories that I had to pay separate for. I ordered only 3 moisture absorbers so I can put this stuff in the storage unit, my clothes and my electronics, I guess. I mean, if we're going to live in a car or the tent, we don't have room for my printers. Like, imagine, like, being outside and trying to be a notary and a doctor and do all this stuff electronically and not having an internet or computer or printer to print or scanner to scan. And we're supposed to be getting I was trying to find a Duracell power pack. Like some of the mobile notaries had the mobile scanner and the mobile printer. And of course their whatever computer device. My nails are really torn up, guys. It's bad. So I have... Oh, I told you in the last video, the sleeping bags. The tarps. Walkie-talkies. The ones that do the earbuds. Check the crates I have already. I feel like I should just order at least 2 crates. You think, oh, I might have a couple at home. One smells like a cross between plastic and cigarette smoke. So 2 all-weather clamp top crates. They have the all-weather ones or the weather-resistant ones at Walmart. So I was like, the storage unit is not heated or air-conditioned, so it's gonna be really hot, really cold. And then the Wonder Balm. I estimated for the Wonder Balm, I think that's what it's called, Doc Martens. I estimated that to be $280. So with that other stuff, it's going to be $300. It would be nice. It's like a pregnant fly. It'd be nice if I could say, hey, this is going to be for camping. The camping stove I ordered. I don't have the money for this. I mean, I don't want to waste money if I had to move somewhere, and I really wanted to buy a house that was $500 a month that I own, grow food. And could you imagine growing your own food and growing kale in the winter and lettuce and leafy greens and asparagus in the spring and strawberries and blueberry bush and start some walnut trees? Could you imagine me in 30 years having a lush garden? That dream keeps getting ripped from me. I had to stand my ground. I learned a lot about society being at that show with the people pushing into me and not pushing into the people around me. It was like I was beaten down in life and people continued to beat down on me. And if I really get something, ooh, I found a new pair of shoes for $12 at Kmart or something. People say, oh, nice shoes. They say, she doesn't deserve it. She's poor. She ain't got no job. She ain't got... And they make it up stuff. I do have a job. I have money issues. I was having money issues, so I got laid off those other jobs. And I shared something about that. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. In the meeting, I was hungry. We didn't have a budget for food. So this is taking too long. I'm just trying to tell you guys. The world keeps trying to beat me down and push me, thinking I'm a round peg into a round hole. I'm a square peg not fitting in your round hole, and I'm trying to allow myself to get pushed. Allow myself to be like jelly or jello in a mold. And it's like, no, God has you as a cube. These people think single poor black woman doesn't have enough income. Why are they all saying low income? Why don't they say freaking you have income and you want to pay rent somewhere and you're looking if anyone knows of a place open? You're not asking for social service support. You know how to get social service support. You're asking for, does somebody have an apartment? Does somebody have a house they need a house sitter? Does somebody have a ground sticking at ground, a carriage house or some kind of servant house in the back of their house that they are renting out on their farm, on their 30-acre farm? Do you know someone that has another garage apartment? Do you know somebody that has a little apartment over a store downtown that they own the building? Because a lot of people here own a lot of buildings. That's why I put the word out. It was like putting the word out so people could say, hey, you're in luck. This one's going up. These people are leaving next week. Oh, next week? Can I fill out an application? Because I want to move in as soon as the minute they move out. Not the minute because you want someone to clean up after it, but I didn't ask for homeless shelters. I didn't ask for low-income housing. I didn't ask to get on wait list for the place that costs $200 a month, because you know the wait list is going to be so long with Social Security welfare recipients, which I don't have either. We're both working. We need to just go look at a place, make sure it doesn't have bed bugs. I don't want any roaches or mice, but especially bed bugs, and I especially don't want rats or snakes. Go into the place, sign the paperwork, pay the last month's security deposit, and start getting the keys and changing the mailbox. I'm not asking for a shelter. I know about the shelters. I was going to try to get a job at one. I know about Section 8. I know about HUD housing, and there's some cheap ones over in Fruitland, by the way, but it's too far from my work. I already complained about the 30-minute drive plus the 30 minutes to the site. I got to go. I'm using up my phone memory, guys. But pray for me. Please don't put somebody in a round hole just because you're stereotyping them. And just because you're super wealthy and you don't understand because your husband is a multimillionaire and you just say, oh, my husband bought me this house that I liked on the river. You don't know that it's a $6 million house and you don't have to work for it. And you think because you have everything that the rest of us that want to live in a $115,000 trailer on the side of some trailer park, or that we want to live in a tiny house and have our own property and have chickens and homestead, and not necessarily because you're completely broke and you're trying to live free. Let Indians live free. Supposedly my dad's side is part Native American. My kids are. They had to roam free. They had to defend their land from other nations, but they didn't have to pay the taxes and pay outrageous money. Someone used the river. They went fishing. They went and got buffalo, and all that stuff got swept away. The oysters, the crab, all that stuff. By the Westerners who came over here and got those people sick and killed them and put them into reservations in the West. Come on now. Some of our culture says more freedom. All this land around me, I don't care. Fine, there's trees. I'm not trying to cut trees. Fields. There's empty, vacant fields. There's no kids on these fields. There's land everywhere. Churches that are boarded up. All we need a plot so we can put that stuff I told you, the kale and the blueberry bushes, and put a house that's a low carbon footprint, or a homestead so you don't have to use a lot of heat and cooling. So you could put up solar panels so that you could have a stream or creek and not have to pay for the city water to be processed with all that chlorine that's causing dioxins, that's killing out the wild animals. I wonder why stuff goes extinct. Their shells are thin. The spraying the stuff, the monarchs are dying. They're spraying for mosquitoes. The freaking lightning bugs are dying. Like, come on. We thought praying mantis got sprayed last year. And I'm still getting mosquito bites. Anyways, this is changing stuff. I'm trying to live off the land and pay cash and not have to worry about the next 30 years of a mortgage. But I've already paid 20 years of rent. I've already paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. I could have owned 4 houses in the city limits of Portland, Oregon for the amount I'm paying in rent. So enough is enough. Am I going to pay 10 times, 4 times, 8 times, 2 times the mortgage price for another dumpy apartment that they won't even fix your refrigerator? They won't even change your carpet that somebody completely destroyed? They won't treat it for bugs? They won't seal up holes? They won't fix electrical problems? They won't fix people's ovens that start on fire? You could buy 5 stoves, an oven, for the price of the rent they're charging $2,000. You could buy the basic stove. I mean, nowadays it's hard to, because everything's up. There's a freaking big old fly. Talking about fly glasses. But I want to live off the land. I want to give back to Mother Nature. I want to be a good steward of the resources. I want to find a tree that went down, and if it's not rotten, go and build a shelf out of it, for Pete's sakes. Or make hearts and send them to people and let people know that there's love in the world. And I don't have a say in people deciding whether or not. I mean, I tried to get my kid a corgi, and the lady said no. And the next day she sold them all. She said, oh, they're too young. I said, I don't care. I'm paying you a deposit. I'm coming back next week. They're 7 weeks. Next week the next day she called and said she got rid of the dogs. And another person came from California and bought them. Some white people. Like 2 gay white men or something like that. They didn't trust me and my kids. They were scared of my son. Black male. I'm so mad right now. I didn't get to decide. I had the money in my pocket. I took a trip on Thanksgiving to see this dog way across the state, and she reneged on it. She made a decision based on our looks. I had decided when I was younger I was either going to be a doctor or a veterinarian, and I decided to be a doctor. So it was like in my last year of medical school. And people said I couldn't get another dog because I was a single mom, and that my medical school was too much. I said, I'm graduating. He's like, well, your residency. What residency? I'm a naturopath. Those are not required. I'm not going to be like at work 60 hours a week. My kids are in homeschool. They're teenagers, and we have a fenced yard that's bigger than many people's yards. And we have all these parks and dog parks in Southwest Portland. Look up dog parks. There's people move there on purpose to that side of town just so they can utilize the dog parks. But it's like my work was 5 minutes away. I told them I was only working 4 hours a day. And it's like if I worked 8 hours a day on Friday, I got a lunch break. We used to get an hour lunch break. It's like I could walk the dogs. It was so annoying. It was so annoying, guys. I'm just sad. There was a huge gap under our fence, our gate, and my landlord was tripping. She's like, what gap? I was like, there's like a 1 foot gap under the gate. When they remodeled it, they put it back together wrong or something. And I was like, I'm going to get permission to put a board there because our dog will end up in the road. Gotta go, bye.